We came so far from dreams. The path was hard for me. They thought we fall, you see. Well, look at us now, look at us now. We make it hot when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we. Tell me who better than we. We soaring to places you never could reach. When we walk in that spot, don't hear none of you speak. Shh, do you want peace or the peace? A king about to put you to sleep. Listen, my team is elite. You not even qualified to compete. He starving, he barely can eat. I guess that's why he always itching for beef. So I put him on ice and I told him to chill. Close your mouth if you can't pay for the meal. Making statements that you know you don't mean. Nice guy trying to act like he mean. Keep it a buck, keep it a bean. Attitudes will put you dudes in the beam. Izuku, he don't live in reality. Shake back, all become a fatality. Yeah, how you gon' hate when you mirror us? You think he a star, he ain't serious. X him out, we not on the same frequency. If you broke, you ain't hearing us. Work the screw, anime, that's how I feel, period. We winning, that's making them furious. We make it high when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we.
Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Leo Mookie here, back for you with another new part of What If Deku Was Loved by the Intoners. This is part 3, and in the last part, we went over, just like it would in canon, with Izuku meeting with that of All Might. However, with the inclusions of both 0, 1, and the other Intoners as well, as their love for Izuku really goes quite far, actually, as they deeply worry and care for him all the time. And not only that, even when All Might told him that it's impossible to become a hero without a quirk, Izuku remembers everything that the Draken Sisters have done for him, everything that they've done to help him improve and train. He still strives to reach it. Even when he saved Bakugo, using that quick thinking and the training from that of Zero and the others, Zero soon comes in to save them instead of All Might. Not only that, but just like in canon as well, All Might tells Izuku that he can become a hero. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? With only that of a month has now gone by since that incident, and since Izuku met All Might. Currently now at Dagba Beach, once a prestigious public beach park that anybody could go. However, due to trash washing up on the shores over time, it soon slowly became that of an illegal trash dump. You would think pros would basically find a way to help take care of this situation, and basically find a way to clean the beach. Unfortunately, pros nowadays don't really care about doing community work, unless it's for charity that would basically give them higher, ratings and that of, publicity after all. Why are we at that of Dagba Beach? Simple, really, because Izuku is currently working there, as Izuku is slowly pushing that of a refrigerator through that of the sand, as he's given it his all to try and push it with inch by inch, step by step. However, there's somebody on that of the fridge, this being All Might, and that of his buff form after all, saying, "Come on now, young Midoriya, give it your all. You won't be able to save anybody without strength like that." Saying, "I'm giving it my all. Come on, it doesn't help that there's basically extra weight onto it." Soon he could hear somebody huffing, saying, "Excuse me?" Within, Izuku couldn't help but realize what he just said, as his teeth begins to chatter, and also his face goes completely and utterly red. Looking back, as it isn't just All Might sitting on the fridge, as it's also 1 and 4, as 1 actually does look a bit annoyed, but not too fazed by what Izuku said. However, 4, on the other hand, looks absolutely livid. Then Izuku saying, it's not what you think for. I didn't mean it that way. I just saying, then what did you mean it by, Izuku? Come on now, clarify to me. Are you saying that me and 1 are basically fat? within saying, no, nothing of the sort. You're far from that. With Izuku completely other frantic as 4 continues glaring daggers at that of her childhood friend. One couldn't help but sigh, realizing that 4 is taking this way too far, even though she is probably pissed at what Izuku said. Even 1, who doesn't try to go too much into that of her femininity after all. Won't lie, the comment did kind of stung her for a bit, especially given that she's not, blessed as that of her sisters, even that of 4 as well. To be honest, part of her honestly kind of thought it might have been a compliment from Izuku, but even so, there's a part of her that just couldn't help but get a little bit offended. With then soon, All Might getting that of Izuku and 4's attention by clapping, saying, now, you two, we should get back to business. After all, young Midoriya has almost that of 9 more months to go. With then soon, Izuku saying, still, can't believe it that you want me to clean up this entire beach to train for that of the UA entrance exam. Even though I've done training with that of Zero and the rest of the other girls as well. I feel like this isn't needed. With then soon, All Might saying, well, it's necessary, especially if I plan on giving you one for all after all. Within 1 speaking and saying, he's right, Izuku. As much as how skilled and your body is quite well toned after all, it's still there's nothing wrong with being over-prepared, especially when it comes to a quirk like this from All Might. Within, Izuku thinks, back then, about last month after all, about one for all. Back a month ago, after the events with that of the sludge villain, with Izuku being comforted by all the other girls, excuse Zero, even though she also wants to comfort Izuku. Within, All Might couldn't help but smile, saying, he has that of great friends, truly great and loyal friends that would stay by his side. But even so, just knowing this secret could be too dangerous. Within, looking at that as Zero, saying, and also, Lady Intoner, one of the HBSC-sponsored heroes just like Hawks and the former Lady Nagant as well. I should feel like not wanting him to tell them, but by looking in his eyes, he values their counsel and their words more often than I should. It almost reminds me on how it was like with that of Gran Torino and my master, and Night Eye. But then, coming to that of resolve, with Soon having that of a look of determination, saying, young man, what is your name again? Within, Izuku saying, it's Izuku Midoriya, saying, young Midoriya, I told you that you can become a hero even without a quirk. I truly do believe that. However, if you do wish for power, and if you do wish to get stronger, and to achieve your goal even faster than before, then allow me, I, All Might, had deemed you worthy to be my successor! As he soon screams this out, with blood basically spitting out of his mouth. Within, soon, 2 could help but say, oh god, he's spitting out blood again! This is so weird! Within, even that of 5 can help but say, sheesh, are we really sure that this is really All Might and not some imposter? Because that is really unsettling as hell. With then 3 could help but say, fascinating. To spit out blood like that, there has to be a problem with that of his internal organs. I would love to see what makes him tick to basically still able to walk even while spitting up blood. With 2 saying, 3, you're not helping here, girl. That's just making me even more uncomfortable. With then soon, Izuku was about to comment as well by that of 3's words before getting cut off, saying, wait, what do you mean entrusted with that of your quirk? With then soon, 0 couldn't help but narrow her eyes alongside that of 1. With then 4 speaking up, saying, All Might, sir, as much as we are honored, especially Izuku, knowing him, he's honored, with Izuku scratching the back of his head with that of the compliment from that of 4, as she continues saying, why do you mean by being able to, and with the secret of his quirk, especially when you said successor? Have you entrusted Izuku to be the next number 1 hero? But if so, why? With then soon All Might wiping the blood from his mouth before saying, well, it's complicated actually. Quite complicated indeed, young lady. With then soon Zero saying, then uncomplicated quickly, especially given the fact that we still need to give Izuku back to his house. And we know his mother, believe me, we all do. She's worried as hell, so you think we could do this another time or wrap it up pretty quickly? With then soon All Might saying, I can give you the more and more included details later on. But as for now, my quirk has always been a secret and has always been a hot topic among that for fans of pro heroes after all. Within soon, Izuku couldn't help but blink multiple times. Before then, two couldn't help but speak of saying, oh yeah, definitely. Especially for this big hero, this All Might fanboy of yours. With basically pointing her thumb at that of Izuku, with making Izuku blush a bit, embarrassment. Within All Might saying, most people believe that my quirk is that of a amplification quirk that amplifies both my speed, strength, and power. But it's more than that. My quirk is not just, I was not born with this quirk actually, but instead, this quirk has been passed down from one person to another, and to another and another, growing stronger with each passing. This is the quirk, one for all. After hearing that, all the girls alongside Izuku couldn't help but be completely caught off guard. With then, soon, 3 can help but feel completely frantic as she almost looks like she's vibing in curiosity. With then, soon, Izuku noticing this vibe before, as she was about to basically lunge at that of All Might, Izuku basically grabs her, basically lunges for her instead. As then soon, getting out of their daze as well, both 4 alongside 2 and 5 and 1 also keep her down too. As soon, All Might couldn't help but be completely and utterly shocked, wondering what just happened. Within, Zero couldn't help but sigh, saying, my sister is a huge, support nerd. She likes to create that of experiments, but just like Izuku, she's also a huge quirk nerd. She likes to see how quirks tick and everything else like that. And just hearing that a quirk is able to pass down from one user to another without being born with that quirk as well, it just basically launched every single vibe of her curiosity about a quirk like that. With then soon, Izuku basically saying, while he's trying to keep 3 calm after all, before saying, honestly, don't take this too personally, All Might. She's just really, really curious. She wouldn't hurt a fly. Trust me, she wouldn't hurt a fly. Within, all the girls internally saying, that's an absolute bullshit, Izuku. As 3 finally calms down for saying, I'm calm. You can all let go of me now. With then, Sue, as all the girls basically get off and Izuku's about to. However, 3 on the other hand basically grabs onto Izuku's arms and brings her back down to her, within saying, not you, you stay down here. With Izuku's face completely going red in embarrassment, with a few of the other sisters actually getting embarrassed themselves. Before then, soon, All Might saying, look, if you want the more details, I can give you, but that's the truth. My quirk is able to pass on to others, and I decided to pass my quirk to you, young Midoriya. With then hearing that, while still having a red face, but then saying, you really entrusting me with your quirk? Are you serious? Saying, yes. When I saw back there, it's the true actions, the true worthiness of what it means to be a hero. That's why I want you to be my successor. I entrust my quirk to you, young Midoriya. So what do you say? Within, as Izuku was about to say yes, within soon, 1 spoke up saying, hold up there, All Might. Before he agrees, I think it's best that we talk about this beforehand. Could you wait until tomorrow after we're done with classes for Izuku's answer? Within soon, hearing this, Izuku saying, but 1, within, one giving that of her stern look to that of Izuku, realizing that this isn't up to debate. Within, Izuku couldn't help but sigh, realizing that they're basically in their mood. Before then, All Might saying, I understand. Please, I'll be waiting when you call. Here's my phone number, as he soon gives Izuku his phone number, with Izuku getting off of that of 3, as she finally letting go. With then soon, All Might soon walks off. After that, all that remains is Izuku and that of the Draken Sisters. Within soon, one saying, you're quiet this entire time, Big Sis Zero. Care to explain? Within soon, all the others, even Izuku looking back at that of the bleach blonde. Before then removing that of her hero costume mask, being the flower mask. As she can open but sigh saying, honestly, what he just said is literally everything that the Hero Public Safety Commission wants. His quirk is literally everything that they've asked for their entire life. A quirk so strong that it can be and so versatile that it can be passed down to one user to another. Honestly, they would kill for anything for a quirk like that. Within 5 speaking up saying, oh, so that's why you've been so quiet about it. You're debating if you should tell that of your superiors of the Public Hero Safety Commission about a quirk like this. Within, Izuku saying, wait, but don't you think they would already know about this? I mean, this is All Might of all people we're talking about. Surely they know about Zero speaking up saying, Izuku, even though I'm a public safety hero, not even the Hero Public Safety Commission knows what All Might's quirk is. His identity, Toshinori Yagi, is in the database because it's a government name. Of course the government knows about his identity. But as for his quirk, the closest records we would get about his quirk would be all the way back at UA, when he used to go there after all, Izuku. Not even that of hospitals know what his quirk is. It's one guarded secret, and now I have the knowledge of that very quirk. And I am debating if I should basically tell my superiors about this or not. So yeah, I have one hell of a dilemma right here. With then hearing this, everybody was kind of a little bit worried. Even Izuku worrying that Zero would basically tell the world about the secret of One for All, about All Might's quirk. With then Zero saying, luckily, I'm not going to tell them jack shit. After saying that, all of them, even that of 3, couldn't help but deadpan at that of 0. Within 2 saying, then why did you make it feel like you were about to tell the HPSC about All Might's secret? With then saying, well, it's simple, really. Within soon walking off, heading to that of Izuku's place, before saying, I just wanted to see the look on your dumbass faces. I'm still pissed with having to deal with that sledge villain, those idiot heroes, and that dumbass Bakugo. So I need some enjoyment in my life, at least for now. Within soon, all of them couldn't help but slump to the ground. Before then, Izuku saying, I forget how much she can be sadistic. Within soon, one can help but say, you're not the one living with her, Izuku. With all of the girls basically commenting and nodding their head. After arriving back home, let's just say she does what she usually does. Cry tears of both joy, sadness, and basically worry as well. That it nearly floods the apartment. Like, again. With Izuku also crying too, but not on the same degree. So, mainly to sorry for worrying her after all. With all the girls couldn't help but say, how the hell do they do this? This is unnatural. With now finishing crying, as Inko preparing that of dinner, realizing that, well, since the girls are here, no wrong with trying to help out cooking. However, 2 also helps out cooking as well, making dinner go by a lot more faster with the extra hands after all. As this is basically the norm for that of the Midoriya's and Draken family after all. Inko always enjoys their company, adding more life to that of the apartment building after all, within just having that of Izuku and her always there alone too, which makes things always enjoyable. However, that brings up that of the last conversation for tonight before the girls head home, that being the conversation with Izuku accepting All Might's, proposal to be his successor, with Izuku sitting on his bed Alongside that, a 4 and also 5. 3 sitting in that of his desk chair. 2 sitting on his desk, making sure not to mess up anything after all. And 1 and 0 standing up with both their arms crossed. As Izuku asks, so can you explain one? Explain on why I shouldn't take All Might's quirk. With then soon 1 explaining, as she's saying, well, isn't it obvious? This is a huge decision. Once you take one for all, as the quirk is called, if I remember, you'll basically be his successor, which also means you'll have to become the number 1 hero, which also means, with then Zero saying, in short terms, what 1 is trying to say is that you'll have to take up all those responsibilities on what it means to be the symbol of peace. With then soon Izuku blinking multiple times, but then saying, I kind of expected that actually. With then all the girls couldn't help but blink multiple times before they facepalm. As then Izuku looked completely confused, saying, what? With then 2 couldn't help but sigh, saying, you never think things through, Izuku. Within, soon, Izuku saying, but I... Within, soon, 5 couldn't help but lean back on that of Izuku's bed. Within, she's saying, yeah, to be honest, you're definitely going to just rush into this, getting All Might's quirk, possibly him training you how to use it and all that. Then after when all that's done, if you do apply for UA or any other hero school, but knowing you said you do, you're going to have to basically live up to every expectation he has for you. Not only that, you're probably going to have to give it your all during your first year to just stand out, to prove that you're possibly going to be All Might's successor after all. Could you imagine in the marketability that people would have to do to basically show that All Might has a successor? Or better yet, what would happen if the media finds out that All Might ended up choosing a successor? You know how the media is. They're basically vultures after all. With then Zero saying, oh, trust me, they're worse than vultures. They're goddamn parasite leeches. Take any story and basically run with it, and it's annoying as hell. And just imagine what would happen if they find out about if the number 1 pro found a successor and they end up finding that successor. You know how many villains would basically do whatever they can to make sure that there isn't another symbol of peace? Plenty, and I mean a whole shit ton of villains that will do anything to make sure another symbol of peace doesn't happen after all. With then hearing this, Izuku is getting more and more confirmation. With then soon 4 saying, Izuku, as much as you thinking that you can become the next All Might, you training to become the next All Might, it's not a bad thing. But you're not All Might, Izuku. You're Izuku Midoriya, not All Might. It's that very reason that we basically beat the whole entire idea of you trying to emulate All Might's fighting style when we started training you back when we were kids. With then Zero saying, oh, and believe me, it was a real hassle trying to get you out of the whole mindset that you had to fight like All Might after all. With then Izuku shuddering, saying, yeah, I remember. But still, within, soon, 2 couldn't help but looking at Izuku's eyes, alongside that of 3. Within 3 couldn't help but giggle to herself, saying, you've already made up your mind. You already still plan on taking up his offer to be his successor, and his quirk as well, haven't you? Within, soon, Izuku couldn't help but blush a bit, before 2 saying, yeah, he has. After all, we know you all too well, Izu. With then Izuku blushing even more. Before then, Zero sighing, saying, alright, if you've already made your decision, then you're gonna have to live with it. Live with the fact that you're All Might's successor. Live with the fact that you have his quirk. And live with the fact that you're going to have to live up to becoming the next symbol of peace. Within, Izuku having a determined look on his face, staring straight at that of his childhood friend, saying, and I will. I promise. Within, after saying that, Zero also couldn't help but smirk, saying, okay then, but on one condition. When you talk to All Might saying that you accept, you have to give him these demands. And if he doesn't accept, then you don't accept. Got it? Within, Izuku saying, that's a little bit. Within, Zero saying, got it? Within, Izuku basically getting a little bit nervous and scared, saying, yes, understand. Within her huffing, saying, good. Any rate, we better get going. Come on, girls. Especially since you girls still have school tomorrow. Within, 1 speak up saying, also, 4 and I also have that of a student council meeting early in the morning. Within, 4 saying, oh, that's right. I had to get my rough draft on what I plan on doing to improve that of the discipline committee. Once we get this all ready to go, even the teachers will have to agree. With then soon 2 saying, let's hope you don't go too overboard for I think I've seen what those rough draft plans of yours are. And I don't think locking people in empty classrooms is a good punishment that any school would actually implement. Within 4 basically pouting, saying, I'll just have to try even harder for them to implement it. No one should be breaking the rules on school hours. With then soon, Izuku could help but laugh, alongside that of 5 as well. Within soon, 5 going to Izuku saying, "Bet good luck, Izu baby. Have a good night." As she basically moves her face really close to Izuku's, however, she backs away as soon as she does, just as a way to tease him after all. With that, all sisters basically leave. Within, Izuku thinking, I'm really thankful for them being in my life, but also they can be really controlling, especially Zero. But still, what then? Pulling out that of the keychain from all the girls. What then couldn't help but smile, saying, I'm really thankful for them, though, and glad that they're by my side after all these years. As he holds it close to his chest. The very next day, right after classes come to an end, surprisingly, Bakugo has been at least a lot more, calm actually. He's still loud and abrasive and obnoxious. However, he hasn't been threatening any of Izuku or that of the girls at all. He's just basically kept his distance. Heck, anyone that tries to bully Izuku because of his quirkless status also still gets beaten by Izuku, but also Bakugo doesn't join in at all and basically just walks away, not even bothering it. Some believes that Bakugo is basically either turning a new leaf, or some believe that he believes that Izuku's so beneath him he doesn't need to bully him anymore. But even so, it's not Izuku or the girls' problems. As for that, of Izuku accepting All Might's, proposal to be his successor, he accepts. However, the conditions are that the girls help him in his training and always has to be told about all the information that has to do with that of One for All. At first, All Might was against it, especially since it has to tie to that of Zero after all, especially since he's a public safety hero of all things. But Izuku convinced All Might that she has no plans on telling the HPSC about One for All. She'll keep it a secret no matter what, even though All Might is hesitant on basically allowing this. But even so, he still accepts it. With now, Izuku is training at Dagba Beach, trying to clear it to improve his body to handle One for All. With then soon, Izuku saying, it's been an entire month since I worked on this beach, and I've only got at least out of a small portion of it taken care of. But even so, it also doesn't help that a certain someone, also, speaking of that certain someone, as rumbling around that of the garbage basically happens, with it almost sounds like that of a pillar of garbage basically falling down. Within, all the other girls, alongside All Might and Izuku, head to that, rumbling. With then, soon, they see that of dust clouds of sand and garbage basically going everywhere. Within, around the area where the garbage fell, being that of 3, 2, and 5 as well. With then, soon, 1 saying, seriously? 5, 2, you were supposed to keep an eye on her after all. With then, 3, 2 saying, but we were. Seriously, it's not our fault that when it comes to finding gear that she wants for her support gear, that they're basically in places where she can get herself killed. With then 5 saying, yeah, and honestly, I never expect my fine ass to basically be in a dumpster heap. Seriously, what the hell, All Might? Why can't we just go to a gym to improve Izuku's, muscle density? It's what we did before when we started training him. With then soon, All Might basically buffing up saying, well, you see, young Draken, with then saying, just call me 5. Honestly, we're all our last names are Draken. Either you feel like calling us by our given names, or just call us by our nicknames, which makes things easier. Trust me, it will. Within, all of them, even that of Izuku, couldn't help but nod. Within, All Might saying, well, young 5, the training plan I have is way more important than you think. Just merely working out isn't enough to reach what I want for young Midoriya to be able to handle One for All after all. That's why, within soon, one saying, your all-American dream plan is great and all, but you're lucky that both me and Zero, alongside that of 4, made sure to make some improvements to it. Heck, even 3 had to make at least a little bit of improvements as well, especially given Izuku's case of overdoing it. Within, Izuku basically scratching the back of his head in embarrassment, while also drawing circles in the sand with that of his right foot. With then, All Might couldn't help but wince a little bit. Before then, soon, 4 couldn't help but sigh, saying, true, absolutely true. Have you seen when this dumbass basically goes all out and overworks himself? It wouldn't be the first time. He does this all the damn time. Even after getting that of a pretty decent enough body where he's able to move pretty damn quickly, even for a person with that of an average speed quirk, he still finds a way to overwork himself. With then soon, Izuku saying, I don't overwork myself too much. I just want to prove that I'm able to keep up. With then soon, 3 couldn't help but say, by basically putting yourself so much pain that you can barely even lift your finger. Yeah, not gonna happen, Izuku. Within, soon, 1 saying, just be lucky that we were prepared to make some improvements just in case that you overworked yourself and your muscles just to show that you're able to keep up. And be glad that the strength that you do have from the training from before you're getting this beach at least a little bit better than it was before. Within, looking around, that as there's still piles of garbage, however, not as much as there used to be. With then, soon, Izuku saying, yeah, gotta thank you guys and Zero for that. As both 2 and 5 basically cling on to Izuku out of gratitude for thanking them, as he couldn't help but blush from the close contact from his 2 childhood friends. Within, All Might saying, alright, if young 3 is okay, then we should get back to training. But still, why go through the trash, young 3? Why not? You said that you plan on going to UA for the support course, right? Why not go to that of a, electronics store or even a parts store? You can get better, equipment there instead of here. Within, 3 basically tilting her head to the side saying, why go there when I can basically get the stuff I do need for free here? With then, soon, All Might couldn't help but blink multiple times. Before then, soon, 1 couldn't help but sigh saying, this junkyard is basically where 3 gets where she makes all her support gear from, especially the parts that she needs. She does buy a few things here and there, but the stuff that she can really get is mainly from junkyards like this, especially illegal dumps like this too. So it's why that we make sure to have at least 2 or 3 people keep an eye on her. And currently, 4 and I are basically I'm focusing on trying to help Izuku improve. So it's only up to that of 2 and 5 to keep an eye on her. And she couldn't help but glare at that of her brunette and dirty blonde sisters. With 2 couldn't help but scratch the back of her head in nervousness. With 5 basically couldn't help but stick her tongue at 1 in that of childness. Within, All Might getting everybody's attention saying, even so, we should get back to business. Young Midoriya saying, yes, All Might. As they get back to training, as for 3, She continues wandering off to find that of any good scrap metal for her support gear, with 2 and 3 continually, looking after, trying to make sure she doesn't get herself killed by garbage. However, unaware to everybody, even that of All Might, Zero was basically keeping an eye on that of her sisters, her childhood friend, and her childhood friend's mentor. Within, she's saying, seriously, I'm lucky I made sure to keep an eye that I didn't tell the HPSC about this. However, I still had to give them a report that All Might has decided to choose a successor. I never told them what that successor even is, though. Hopefully, All Might doesn't get mad alongside Izuku. As Zero remembers back then, when she basically had to give out that report by that of the HPSC, especially when had to deal with that of the Sledge villain. At first, the HPSC was planning on suspending her to the point that she would most likely lose a lot of cash, and most of her money and paycheck goes to supporting that of her sisters after all. Given that they can't have their heroes basically going on a rampage, doing whatever they please to that of villains, even though they basically wanted her to be that of their little assassin after all, just like that of Lady Nagant and their current golden boy, or golden goose, as, she likes to call him, Hawks. However, to make sure that she didn't lose her paychecks, she did basically tell them that she found out that All Might has a successor. However, to defend that of her childhood friend / unadmittedly crush, to keep him safe, it was the best way to still get paid while also still suffering at least a bit of suspension, which only lasted like that for 2 weeks. Which, in her point of view, it's better than being on suspended for an entire month or 2. However, she did have to do at least that of a few more kill orders, though, on certain villains and certain heroes. Which, in that of, Zero's case, she doesn't really care. She's willing to kill anybody if it means keeping that of her sisters and even her crush, from suffering. Unlike that of Hawks and Nagant as well, with her continually looking after her siblings and that of her childhood friend and the number 1 pro, she begins looking at her phone, seeing that of several messages from the HPSC, especially from the Madam President, telling her she has another target to take care of tonight, as sending her that of message on that of the target, as it being a pro hero that's trying to support that of international support, gaining that of heroes from other countries to help out in case things become too damn hectic. Unfortunately, the HPSC doesn't want that and thinks that heroes from other countries should stay out of their business. With that, she soon stands up before heading out. Before looking back and up, say, "Good luck, Izuku. You're definitely going to need it if you plan on getting in this line of work after all." And she walks down the street. Soon, at least out of a few weeks later, within Izuku, the beach is starting to look at least a little bit better now, with trash basically being removed and being on that of All Might's old pickup truck. With then thinking, keep this up and he should probably be done in almost out of 3 to possibly 5 months from now. I might be able to give him one for all sooner than that. And surprisingly, he's able to keep up even with those girls around. And soon, we're seeing that of Izuku trying to catch his breath with that, as he has that of a water bottle in his hand. Before then, multiple cases basically drop in front of him, being that of 6 cases actually, with all of them ranging from different sizes. With then soon, All Might blinking multiple times before thinking, what's going on? Within suit, Izuku saying, it's about that time, isn't it? Kinda figured that. With then standing back up, as then even Zero soon arrives, saying, so, it's about time to get ready, isn't it? With then seeing that of Zero, as she's not in her hero costume actually, as she's just wearing that of casual clothes, being that of a white tank top, shows that of her defined stomach and abs a little bit. Black shorts with that of white black heels, and also wearing that of a blue sleeveless jacket, as she's wearing that of sunglasses right now. Within, soon, one saying, "Surprised that you decided to show up, big sis, Zero," as one having that of a somewhat surprised and smug look on her face. Within, Zero couldn't help but narrow her eyes at that of her little sister before saying, "It was my idea to help train him after all. You girls basically just tagged along for the ride. Now then, I hope you still continued your sparring and training while you were cleaning up this, well, godforsaken garbage heap." Within, Izuku couldn't help but stand up saying, "Yes, I have, Zero." Within, soon saying, "Good," as then she unsheaths that of her sword, before points it straight at that of Izuku, saying, "Then let's get started. Girls." Within, soon, they all bring out that of their own personal weapons, with one having that of a ring blade, two bring out that of a great sword that looks like that of a kitchen knife actually, three pulling out that of scissors. However, she has two, short swords on that of her thighs. Four puts on that of a heavy metal gauntlet that also has that of a shield on it. And five also pulls out that of a spear. However, the spear is in the shape of a cross, not like that of a cross spear, but just the spear with the back end having that of a cross end. Within, All Might completely and utterly shocked and dumbfounded, saying, "Whoa, what's going on here?" Within, Izuku saying, "Don't worry, All Might, this is natural. The reason I'm at that of a pretty good condition that I am now is mainly because of the girls training me. They've always trained me and helped me improve, both in that of physical sense and also in combat sense as well. It's the reason why I'm able to move and adapt pretty quickly on the fly." With then, soon, Zero saying, "Now then, let's see what you can do and how much you improve." As then, stop pointing her blade at that of Izuku and bring it down to her side. Within, Izuku picking up one of the cases, as it being that having that of a sword similar to that of Zero's, as it has that of a handguard over it. However, the blade does look like it's been wear and teared after all. Within saying, "All right, let's do this." Within soon rushing straight at all the girls as they all get on guard. Within, Zero getting in front of Izuku as both their blades begin to clash. Within, soon, All Might was about to step in, seeing this, as both Izuku and Zero's swords continue to strike at one another over and over and over again. With Izuku trying to aim for that of her legs, within, Zero aiming for that of Izuku's head, with him dodging each strike before countering at that of her, trying to stab her right into that of her chest. Before then, soon, a ring blade basically brings that of the sword over to one, as one removes her ring blade from that of Izuku's sword, but before she also sends out of a flurry of slashes, forcing Izuku to guard for a bit. Within seeing that Izuku is guarding, she soon jumps up into the air, flipping right over Izuku, hoping to basically strike him down from the back. However, Izuku sees this as he one-hand backflips away from that of one, while also kicking away that of her ring blade that was about to strike him. Seeing this, one couldn't help but smirk, thinking, "Excellent footwork, Izuku. You have improved quite a bit." As soon Izuku flips away, within soon, two weapons were about to slam into him, as it being two's, greatsword and four's, gauntlets, as Izuku dodges out of the way from their attacks. However, before Izuku could react, two begins to use her quirk, paralyzing melody, as she begins to sing, within Izuku basically stopping in place. However, before he could even move a finger, soon, four is already in front of Izuku, as she slams out of her metal gauntlet right into his face, sending him flying. However, as soon as he flies, he was soon kicked right in the back by that of four once again, as through this, she was basically toying with him over and over. However, Even though to All Might, it looks like she's basically brutally beating him, but in reality, she's actually aiming for that of non-vital areas. Even so, it still hurts like a bitch being hit with that of a metal gauntlet fist after all, as 4 is using that of her own quirk. Marie Draken, otherwise goes by 4, quirk, Melody of Enhancement. She's able to enhance her and those around her with that to increase their physical strength, speed, and durability. But when she enhances herself, that temporary power boost becomes even stronger for her and her alone, or for those that she actually genuinely cares for as well. But don't let her ever you say that. Within, she deals like that of a powerful spin kick towards Izuku. However, and she aims for that of his upper back, as then he soon grunts in that of pain. However, now feeling like the effects of 2's quirk begins to fade. Within, him basically catching himself with using one hand and stepping backwards as he's about to lose his footing. Within, soon noticing somebody coming up behind him, as it being 3, as she was about to slash down onto Izuku, with Izuku blocking her attack with his sword, as the two begin to clash as well, and she couldn't help but continue laughing over and over again while trying to continue slicing up at that of Izuku, with Izuku trying his best to keep her at bay, as maybe it may not look like it. However, 3 is not as, scrawny as people think she is, just because she likes to wear her clothing a lot more baggily and loosely like everyone else. She's actually quite strong herself as well. With then, the clashes between the two continue going to a deadlock as she opens up the scissors and clenches down onto that of Izuku's sword. With then, soon, she couldn't help but still laugh, saying, "Got you now, darling." Within, realizing that he can't pull his blade out of the scissors grasp. With them, soon, 2 was about to slash down on Izuku, alongside that of 5 and spearhead Izuku. Within, Izuku just basically letting go of the sword. Within, jumping up into the air for a bit, catching both 2 and also 5 off guard, as he punches 2 while she's still mid-air, while then kicking that of 5 upside her head, knocking both of them to the ground of the beach. With then soon 3 basically letting go of Izuku's sword. With then soon rushing back towards 3. With then she throws one of her scissors towards Izuku as he dodges and slides down onto the sand. With then, seeing that, it was the opportunity to it was trying to blind her, as she soon covers her eyes. However, that was not the case at all, as in that of a split second, she brings out that of her secondary sword, one of her short swords, and blocks the attack from Izuku's sword, as he was using that to actually cover where his sword originally was, to keep it from that of 3's line of sight, and use it to attack her again. However, she blocked it with that of her short sword, making sure, still, due to her own reaction time and speed. Within, she couldn't help but laugh, saying, "Impressive, darling. Seriously impressive. You always know on how to surprise me." With then soon, Izuku saying, "I'm glad I can." With then soon, the two getting out of the deadlock. Before then, a spear was about to plant itself right in front of Izuku. With then, as at 5, basically spinning the spear around multiple times, almost like she's using it like that of a bow staff actually, before trying to spear down Izuku. By using that of his sword, he keeps her at bay for a bit. Within, Izuku couldn't help but say, "Damn it, you're really aggressive today, aren't you, 5? As Izuku gritting his teeth, within, 5 continue basically trying to thrust her spear right into Izuku, as she couldn't help but laugh a bit, saying, "Well, you can't blame me, can you, Izuku? After all, I was just kicked in the back of the head after all. You messed with my hair to be honest, and everybody knows." Within soon stopped thrusting as she does that of a spin slash to that of Izuku's side as he guards from it. However, it sends Izuku flying flying to that of the ground as he rolls. Before then, was about to be stabbed by that of 5. Before then, soon he dodges from that. It's saying, a girl's hair is her best friend after all, and you don't just mess with that. I may love you, Izuku, but to be honest, but nobody messes with my hair. As she's trying her best to get what remaining of the sand out of her hair. But then Izuku saying, right, sorry. But to be honest, did we have to train out here? But then soon, a ring blade was sent flying straight for Izuku as he blocks it. With then the ring blade heading straight back to the person that threw it, being one. As she caught it without even breaking a sweat, saying, of course. Training in the streets, the park, or even that of our personal dojo at our apartment complex isn't going to continue helping you. You need to train at other places as well where you won't have that much of an advantage, such as the beach. Within, another melody begins to play as being from that of 4 once again, as she rushes towards Izuku, trying to deal that of a high axe kick onto Izuku's head. Within, Izuku dodging out of the way quickly, however, not too quick, as his left hand was basically hit by that of that kick, basically showing a pretty nasty bruise on his left forearm, as he went in pain for a bit. However, this was the perfect opportunity for that of 2 to also use her quirk, paralyzing Izuku once again. Within, soon, Izuku feeling the pressure onto him, as he can say, damn it, not again. However, soon as the perfect opportunity, Zero steps in once again. Within, as she also sings her quirk, Melody of Rage, as the pink aura soon engulfs her. And then, in a blinding rush of speed, she was about to stab Izuku right in the neck. However, soon, without warning, All Might grabs that of Zero's sword. However, you would think that grabbing that of a sword, Zero's sword, blood would basically, come off that of All Might's hand. However, it hasn't, not one bit, as he grips tightly onto it, saying, what is the meaning of this? Are you really trying to kill young Midoriya? But then, Zero basically raising an eyebrow behind that of her sunglasses. Before then, removing the sword, realizing that All Might hasn't bled one bit, or if he did, it's probably just a little bit of a scratch. Before saying, chill, All Might. This is how we trained Izuku for almost his entire life, ever since he was 10. With then, All Might saying, what? With then, Izuku getting up saying, yeah, this is pretty much how we spar, and how they help me improve, both physically and combat-wise as well. It's how I was able to reach the level that I am now. Within, soon, All Might saying, but even so, a young man like you wouldn't going through all that. Within, all the girls couldn't help but basically scratch the back of their heads. Within, 2 saying, to be honest, we're not a big fan of how we basically go all out on Izuku like this. It's kind of rough, and even we think that it's a little bit brutal. Within, soon, 1 saying, but Big Sis Zero convinced us that villains are not going to hold back against him, so why should we? It also has to prove that the fact that villains are going to use their quirks against him more often as well. Within, 3 going to that of Izuku, bending down to that while he's on the ground. So he must be prepared for anything to come, no matter how bad it is. We had to push him to a level that no villain would be expecting from a quirkless person. Within, hearing that, All Might couldn't help but be shocked and surprised that these girls would go this far to help Izuku. Within, 3, an aura begins to erupt around that of 3 as well, as she begins using her own quirk, as she begins to sing, where Zero's songs feel aggressive and rough, to that of 2's that feels that of calm and loving, to 4, which feels that of energetic while also strong. 3's song feels like she is malicious, arrogant, and toying with those around her. However, even though she sings it that way, her quirk, on the other hand, works differently. As the melody begins to play through that of her quirk, within, a purple aura begins to engulf her and Izuku, as that purple aura soon begins to heal Izuku's fatigues and also the bruise that was on that of his left forearm from that of Four's kick. Within, she's saying, "There, all done. Kuroko Draken," or as she prefers to go by, 3, quirk, melody of healing. To whoever she sings to, she's able to heal and also restore that of their energy and stamina as well. It could even work on inanimate objects as well, non-living objects too. However, it is unable to basically work on herself though, which means she cannot heal or restore her own stamina in mid-battle. With that, soon she stands up saying, "There you go, darling." But then Izuku saying, "Thanks," 3, saying, "Anytime. If you were willing to repay me, you could allow me to," as she was about to go straight for that of Izuku's, chest, as he slaps it away saying, "Please, no, I'm not in the mood for that." As both blushing and also terrified at the exact same time. Within, she couldn't help but huff saying, "Fine, fine." With then soon, Izuku putting away that of his sword, with then seeing that of the other cases, as the girls basically picked them up themselves. Within, All Might deflating back to that of his scrawny form, before saying, "Is it really necessary to go that far?" Within, 0 basically looks back at the number 1 pro and symbol of peace saying, "You really think that not going far enough isn't enough, especially given what's out there. If he's to be your successor, he needs to be prepared for anything, not just of being strong enough to handle your quirk, but also experienced enough to handle anybody with that of a dangerous quirk as well. Combat sense enough to basically know when to take a hit and when to dodge, and also to realize that he needs aid as well. And that's why we've also taught him how to use weapons." But then finally seeing all the girls without their weapons saying, "Still, even that of young 5 and young 3, they didn't even say that they plan on becoming heroes." Within, 0 basically, flipping her hair over, getting out of her face before saying, "Isn't it obvious? I'm trying to make sure to keep my sisters safe no matter what. Self-defense is still self-defense. Especially since there are so many goddamn quirk laws out there. Just using weapons alone is enough for self-defense rules after all." With then hearing that, All Might can up and say, "Oh my god, this woman knows everything about the laws. It's kind of terrifying to go this far." With then soon, All Might saying, "Well then, I think that's enough for now. Young Midoriya, you should call it here from now." Saying, "All right." Within, getting back up and also helping out the girls as well. Within, All Might thinking, he may be the perfect successor, but those that he has close to him. As he looks back at the girls alongside Izuku as they all walk off that of the beach. Within thinking, I really do hope that they're trustworthy with the secret of One for All. As All Might still has his doubts. However, those doubts are misplaced, no matter what. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, how did you guys like this part? You guys think I did it well with how the girls reacted to that of One for All and also convincing Izuku about, the dangers with becoming the successor of the Symbol of Peace? Because, to be honest, MHA didn't bring up that kind of danger until, after All Might basically retires. And we already see what happened when the public basically had that of Endeavor be the number 1 hero, and yet they were comparing him to that of All Might entirely. So, yeah, you kind of see what I'm getting here, right? They're only trying their best to look out for their crush, after all. As for the training, Izuku is going to be clearing the beach a lot more faster than he would have in Ganon. And it's all thanks to Zero and the girls, of course. As for sparring, it gets really rough around when Izuku trains with them. Hell, You would be surprised on how many scars the guy has. So yeah, at any rate, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification, keep to date my videos upload to the channel.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!